So with the DBZ Battle Hour, we actually got news that they are launching a rollback beta test for PC come, I believe it was April or spring. I don't remember which time it was announced. It was for PC, so I don't really care. And then a new patch is on the way. Now, I'm going to be 100% transparent. I have absolutely no faith that this patch is really going to be what we're expecting. I have not had faith in their decision making in the longest time, especially since we are still currently waiting for. We've been waiting this long for rollback to come around, and the last balance patch that they put out was their fine-tuned. It's obviously not fine-tuned patch, where they made a lot of questionable decisions, but we rocked with it regardless. I'm still going to make this tier list real quick, though, as to just kind of go over my wishes for what's to come for fighters. I doubt that they're going to go this extensive, but hey, it's good to lay out like our hopes and wishes out on the table, but while being reasonable. You know, like I know not to get my hopes up, but I still want to do this because these are things that I personally think would, you know, kind of lean us towards like a more balanced or much more balanced fighters. Yeah, let's put it like that. So this is our tier list that we're going to be rocking. We have 5 different tiers. Buffs, please. Slight buffs, fine as is. Slight nerfs, and nerfs, please. We're just going to go down the list of characters. I am not going to give an in-depth explanation for every single character. If I feel like the character needs an explanation, I'll talk about it, but I don't want this video to be absurdly long. So let's just get into it. We're going to start right here in the front. We're just going to work our way down the list all the way down to lab coat 21. So let's go ahead and get into it. So 16 slight buffs. I think this character has a great foundation, but I think he just needs a little bit more of an oomph to just get him to where he, like, I feel like he needs to be. I don't think he needs to be reverted to Season 1, Android 16, but just help him a little bit and he's fine. 17 I think is fine as is. 18 I think is fine as is. Both these characters are really strong, see a lot of play, and I think they do what they're supposed to do and they do it well. I don't think that they really need anything. Slight nerfs for slight buffs, sorry, for 21. Just give her back her level 3 Oki. That was such an unnecessary nerf. I still don't think that made the character. It obviously made the character weaker, but I don't think she's as weak as people are saying she is now without that level 3 Oki. But it was just pointless. Just why? Just give it back to her. There was no reason for that at all. Bardock, I'm going to put in the buffs please category. I want to see this character not back to where he was launch level, but right now Bardock is just kind of, people laugh whenever they see Bardock. You know, like I would love to see this character buffed up to the point where like he's not where he once was, but he's at least a force to be reckoned with. I'm not too quite sure what they could do there, but hey, you know, we'll see what they could do. But I think he does need some buffs. Beerus, I'm only putting into the slight buffs just because I am aware of how good Beerus is. I know everyone's going to say, oh, he doesn't need buffs, he's top 10. I don't agree with that. I think top 15 is perfectly fine. But just buff the 2M. I'm going to say it every single time. I'm going to say it every single chance that I get. Just buff the 2M. Make the active frames come out a little sooner. And I'm fine. My cat is alright. That's all I want for the character. Outside of that, I think Beerus is in a great spot where he's at now. Just give me that 2M, and I'll be a happy camper. If this character gets nerfed, fighters will be deleted in an instant. I will never look back at this game if this character gets nerfed. Broly, yes, buffs, please. Well, no, we'll put him in the slight buffs, because it's really just the frame value he needs help with. I think the character, you know, has a great foundation, just like 16. Just needs a little bit of tweaks to help him get there. Broly, I think, is fine as is. People are probably going to argue for slight buffs just to put him back to where he's at. But honestly, I think the character's fine. I still think this character's really strong. Ginyu, I think, is fine as is. Cell, I think is fine as is. EX perfect attack, go burr, but I think this character is perfectly fine the way that he is built. Cooler, give him some slight buffs. Just like the rest of these characters, just a little oomph, and I think he'll be in a great spot. Hold on. No. You know what? Yeah. Help this man, dude. Frieza doesn't play fighters, dude. He's not a part of the cast. He's just not. Frieza is not out here playing the same game that we're all playing. And this character needs help, dude. Just help him. Help him, please. Gogeta Blue, a lot of people are going to be screaming for this, but I think he just needs slight nerfs, to be perfectly honest. I think Gogeta Blue gets a lot of shit that he does now for free, and I think that's just not fair. Just slightly tweak him a little bit, just so like he feels a little bit more in line with the rest of the cast. Like this character gets free 50/50s. This character has some of the best. It has the best damage in the game, 1,000,000%. He's the best point character. You see him pretty much all over the place. I think, just nerf. I would say the 5L just needs a little bit of a nerf. Like that button's kind of crazy for as far as it goes. If this man can have this fucking torpedo 2M, I don't understand why he can't. So I'm just gonna say nerf the 2M out of spite. The 2H needs a little bit more recovery. The fact that thing's just a 50/50 machine is quite literally just unfair, and it reaches the heavens anyway. I think this character just needs slight nerfs. I don't think he needs to be down here. I think he just needs just a teeny little bit just to get him in line with the rest of the cast, and that's fine. If they don't decide to touch him, I do think he's still fine as a top tier, but that's just my personal opinion. Gohan, I'm going to put it fine as is. A lot of people are going to be screaming about that, but I think the character, while he is crackhead material, you have to work for that crackhead material. So I think he's fine as is. I don't think this character needs to be nerfed at all, or buffed at all. I think he's perfect the way that he is. Teen Gohan, I think fine as is. Goku Black, yeah, give him some slight buffs. GT Goku, give him some slight buffs. It's just the same explanation for these characters. Blue Goku, I think is fine as is. Give him some slight buffs. Fine as is. Slight buffs. Cause Baseku has fallen, dude. This character's still really good, but it's like he just does not compare to like Blue Goku, and there's arguments to be made that he's even worse than Super Saiyan Goku right now. I don't think that's true, but the character has definitely seen he has seen better days. You know what I mean? Like this character has definitely fallen in everyone's opinions. And I kind of agree. Like I do think he just needs a little bit of help because it is kind of hard to open people up with Baseku. I know he has a pretty good command grab, but a lot of people that's literally his only tool for opening people up, outside of like cross ups and his one singular low, you know. So yeah, definitely help out Baseku. We're gonna make another tier real quick at above. Whoop! What the heck? Fix him. Yeah, this character just needs to be fixed, dude. Like, Gotenks is just crying out here just for the sole fact that, like, he doesn't work, you know? Like, oh, that's the same color as the other one. Let's just do that. He just suffers from the fact that the character doesn't work, dude. He's still bugged. Just fix him, and I'll be fine. Literally, just fix the character, take out fix the bugs, and he's perfectly fine. Hit, so I think Hit does need a little bit of, you know what? I personally think Hit needs a little bit of slight nerfs, but I do think if they didn't touch him, he would be perfectly fine. I'm a little more inclined to keep Gogeta down here over Hit because, like, Hit is more fine in my opinion. I think Gogeta would be fine even if he doesn't get touched. I'm trying to make this make sense. If one of them were to receive slight nerfs, I would think it should be Gogeta Blue. If neither of them get touched, I think they're fine characters. But I would be perfectly fine if Hit never got touched. But I do think he is like middle around here. Like he could use some slight tweaks, or he's just fine as is. Other than that, I think he is. I think he is fine. Janemba. Now this character has risen like greatly. Like it is absurd just how far Janemba has risen. And I don't think just because how far he's risen, it should warrant really anything. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put him here because like, why is he the only character in the game with an anti-air J2H? You know, like Jiraiya's a little bit of a different story because his J2H has guard point with the whole like spinning shit. but it's like that thing kills. He does not. He really does not do much off of that. And there are many ways to convert off of that. Like, Jiren is definitely just not a character that would deserve something like that. I don't understand why they gave that to him and none of the rest of the cast. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, if anything, I would just literally just get rid of that, and I think he'd be perfectly fine. I think that button is a little crazy, especially since, you know, like, especially since it's hard to approach Janemba anyway. He's got solid buttons, some of the better key blasts in the game. And now that he can just throw out key blasts and then just swing this thing, you know, it's tough. It's tough. I don't think this character needs to be down here at all. I think outside of that, like, he's just kind of like chilling right here in the middle. But I do think the anti-air J2H should go, to be perfectly honest. Jiren, yeah, I think is fine as is. Like, everyone wants mix for the character. And maybe some slight buffs, but I think he's fine, truth be told. He spits damage, he's got great, amazing staggers, really good counters. I think the character's fine. Kefla, I think she is fine as well. Kid Buu, I'm gonna put Kid Buu in slight buffs. Like, why would you play Kid Buu anymore nowadays? Like, the character is such a, like, spread out bag of tricks that, like, but none of them are ultimately worth it. Like, you're better off just playing another character that could just do any of the, like, 7 things that Kid Buu can do, and just do it better, and just have that your main focus of the character. His damage sucks. He lost his happy birthday on the level 3. You know, we have plenty of better assists nowadays than the A assist that offer 50-50 mixes. I think Kid Buu deserves a little bit of help. I know he's been an absolute monster for a lot of people in this game's lifespan, but I don't think he should have been shot nearly as much as he has, considering some of the stuff that we have in the game currently. Krillin, I think, is fine as is. I'm going to say give Majin Buu some slight buffs. Like, the fact that this character is an absolute mix machine is crazy. But, like, he's got to, like, 3-2-4 touch you. Like, that's absurd. Like, you got to put in so much work with this character to utilize his mixing to kill characters that it's like they can just spark and then possibly gain advantage and just kill him. Like, they have 3 opportunities to do so because he cannot dish out enough damage to finish you off. Like, you have 3 opportunities to guess his mix correctly, and most of the time it just evolves to sparking. So yeah, help him out a little bit, I guess, in the damage department. This is going to be controversial. I think Roshi is fine. This character is dumb. He's basically Kid Buu, where he's got like a bunch of bag of tricks, but he just does it better. And not only that, like, he has one of the best anti-air he has an anti-air frame 1 low crush that, when combined with EX Lariat, just kills. It just kills. That button is stupid. 2-2-H is dumb. Not only that, he's got some solid zoning options. Being able to just zip all over the place with his version of the super dash is insane. And yeah, like, I think this character is fine. Like, honestly, I think he's fine. Like, I think a lot of people respect the fact that Roshi is a strong character. I don't see why people keep putting him as low as they do. If anything, I would say he's, like, up in higher A tier. Personally, like, this character's just a bag of tricks that just works well, and the B assist is still pretty good. Nappa, I'm gonna put in slight buffs, solely just for the fact that I think this character's neutral, just needs a little bit of help. The key blasts are great, the fact that they had priority, but Blazing Storm is just like, you have to time Blazing Storm so goddamn well, but it has so much recovery. It doesn't go full screen. Its tracking is not so great. Just help him with some neutral, and I think Nappa is perfect. I don't think that would make him broken in any means. Like, he's still a mixed monster with the EX Cyberman and everything. But yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and put up here. Yeah, I think Piccolo does need some slight buffs. His neutral is just awful, and that's it. Just help his neutral. Like, give his orbs an additional follow-up input, so you can shoot 2, just like his assist. Put on more pressure that way. Make his grabs, I guess, go just a little farther, because they don't work at all. It would be funny to just scoop people off the ground while in neutral. That would be hilarious. That's just a funny buff I want. But yeah, just help him in neutral, and he's perfectly fine. That's literally it. I think Piccolo would rise back to the times where a lot of people would be playing him, and it would just be hooked. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, dude. Put this character down here. Dude, revert 6H. That shit's stupid. And especially considering that this is probably one of the best shells in the entire game, Baby and Zamasu. Yeah, dude, no, hit this motherfucker. Hit him. I'm not gonna put him down here because I think that's just too harsh. I'm gonna keep my bias aside because I fucking hate this character. But yeah, no, like this character needs a little bit of a revert on that 6H, and I'm fine. That thing should not be hitting as high as it does. That thing should not be as long as it does, as long as it is for like just you can just switch out and mix with this fucker. And yeah, I know, like, oh, just get hit by the last part, you can get out of the mix. But like sometimes you're just not in that situation. If you're in corner and you get hit, they're gonna combo off of you. If they're like. And there are plenty of ways where, like, that getting hit, like, just doesn't work because your opponent just gets lucky. Like, nah, dude. No, slight nerfs, and then get rid of this fucking 2H. Like, please. That was the dumbest decision of trying to buff this character I've ever fucking seen. It is more important than this. It is more important than anything here. Right now, that's currently on my screen. I haven't gotten to the rest of the cat. Right, like, that 2H is dumb. Sure, make it immune to projectiles. Don't make it immune to beams. Don't make it immune to assists. What the fuck were they thinking? This button needs to go. Fuck Zamasu. Get rid of that and he's fine. He's a fine top tier. He's still one of the best characters in the game. He's perfectly fine. Just get rid of that 2H. Tien I think is fine as is. Actually, yeah, we're going to put Trunks here. Because I don't think he's in as dire need as like Frieza. But yeah, absolutely buff Trunks. Like he needs help a lot. You know, like his buttons should not be so committable. You should be able to block after, during an EX flip, so you're not just getting fucking super dash. Like literally one button just like ruins his make. Like and he's so resource intensive because like if you want to use EX flip for mix, like you have to cover yourself with an assist. You have to cover yourself with an assist where it's fake as fuck and they just need to click R2. Like he should absolutely be able to block out of it. Trunks works way too hard to get the shit that he does. And just give him some help. Make it so his buttons are not as committable. Make some of his shit a little easier to confirm off of, and we're fine. Personally, that's personally what I would see. I know a lot of other, especially Mr. Sunano, a great streamer. I talk to him every single day. Probably has a little bit more in-depth that he would give for Trunks than I ever could. But I think that's just really all he needs. Blue Vegeta I think is fine as is. Yep, right up here, right at the tip of the top. Just help this character. He's in the same league as Frieza. This character doesn't exist in fighters. He has a foundation. But there are some things that this character absolutely needs to just... He needs help. It's like, why would you ever play Super Saiyan Vegeta? Like, absolutely, why would you ever play him? I see literally no reason to ever pick this character and put him on your team. There's just... Each Vegeta does what he does better. Infinitely better, and he's one of the weakest characters in the cast. I want to see this character blow up and become a part of the cast. Base Vegeta, slight buffs. I think EX Rocket Kick just needs to be reverted and give him back his damage on his JS. Like that was such a stupid nerf to me. You know, like yeah, we found loops that mitigate that JS damage nerf, but that was just such a stupid nerf to me. Just give that back to him. There was no reason for that. There was no reason to hit this character with that at all. In the Rocket Kick as well as at all. There was no reason for it. Other than that, this character is perfectly fine. Vegito, yeah, put him here. Vegito, even outside of the 5M, like, this character just has too much shit. Like, an unpunishable EX Lariat is ridiculous. Spirit Sword is just, like, free mix. This character has free level 3 mix just off of a Vanish. Like, this character has too much. Absolutely way too much. Hit the A assist. Make EX Legs a little bit more punishable. Nerf 5M. Like, this character shouldn't exist. The way that he does right now absolutely should not exist. Videl, I think, is fine as is. Yeah, everyone's going to say give her a reflect, but they're obviously not going to do that. I don't think that they need to do that. If Videl had a reflect, honestly, I would be putting her down here. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. This character is absolutely absurd. It's just the lack of reflect that makes people think that she's not great at all. And it's true, you know, the lack of reflect really makes it so, like, this character has to fight a little bit more and hold a lot more, but, like, she's got insane stuff. Like, really great mix, good buttons, good damage. Like, the character is actually absurd. If she had a reflect, I full-heartedly believe she'd be top 10. 1,000,000%. Help out Yamcha, I don't think really that needs much of an explanation. Truthfully, like, the character is just suffering in this game. Revert EX Wolfang, make his buttons go just a little further. He's got short, stubby buttons. Just give him some better options. Like the stuff that they gave him the last patch where he could just get better damage is nice, but damage doesn't fix a character. So yeah, help out Yamcha. This one's probably gonna be a little controversial as well. I don't think he needs much, really. I really don't. Just revert his EX Lariat to where it was before, and we're fine. Truthfully, that's really all I would do to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, that's really all I would do. Because, like, yeah, he's got great buttons, but, you know, he's the kind of a character that kind of needs those great buttons, considering the fact that he doesn't technically have ways of pushing at full screen. And that's kind of how the character was meant to be designed. The fact that EX Lariat goes damn near full screen, just, I feel defeated the purpose of the character, and it just made him, it degenerate. Like, you could just mash that shit full screen, get them to block, you call an assist, and bam, you're now mixing, and they have to hold it. You know, that just reverted to where it was before, we're fine. And I feel like this one's just self-explanatory. Like, she's definitely like one of the best characters in the game. Between her and Vegito, I still feel it's tied. But yeah, absolutely, just nerf her. You started off on a good foundation, but it just didn't do enough. Just push it a little further. Push it a little further. You know, they started off in a great direction. They just didn't do it enough. Just push it a little further, and the character is fine. That's it. The character is perfectly fine. And she has a bunch of lows. Sure, yeah, like her block strings are still kind of cracked. Excuse me. Her block strings are still kind of cracked, but I think really the main meat of the problem with this character just resorts to the fact that, like, her specials are stupid. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like they had a great start in nerfing her. They just didn't push it far enough, and they just need to push the nerfs that they implemented already and just take it a little further, and then bam, she's perfectly fine. And she would just fall in line with the rest of the cast. She would probably still be top tier, but like not so completely dominant where every single person in their sister is playing this game. And yeah, there we go. And as you can see, I'm a huge advocate. Excuse me. I'm a huge advocate of more buffs rather than nerfs. I think the nerfs that these 7 characters down here need are definitely warranted. Babies is just a personal thing. Truth be told. Otherwise, I'd put him in finances. But I have a vendetta against this character, so he's fucking going here. But these 6 characters specifically definitely need at least a little something. These all up here need a little bit of something to just get us to where we want to be. A nice, finely tuned, balanced fighters where anyone can pick anyone. We are not so reliant on these 6 characters right here. For tournaments and everything, we could start seeing a lot more of these characters just come back out and play the game. And yeah, and I don't think any of this shit is going to happen. I 1,000,000% think they're going to just double down on the fusions, give us some slight tweaks for characters, and just call it a day. I really don't think, I have no hope, but hey, I could be proven wrong. So, yeah. Nevertheless, this is what I would hope for in the forms of a balanced patch to get fighters to where we need to be. These are the characters that I believe fucking help them. Please buff them. Just some slight buffs. Fix this character. Fine as is. Slight nerfs. Nerf, please. Please nerf them. This is just how I would do it. This is my personal opinion on what I believe would be the correct way of making fighters a little bit more balanced, so we can definitely get to that golden spot where character diversity would be all over the place. You know, like, we would probably see more Blue Coos, we could possibly see more Goku Black, you know, and all that stuff. So let me know what you guys think down below. What would you guys do for this upcoming balance patch to get us to where we believe that fighters would be fine-tuned Let me know if you agree with any of the things that I said, disagree with any of the things that I said. If there's anything that you would add on to some of the things that I said, because I kind of just gave a brief overview of my thoughts on a lot of these characters, rather than going into like an in-depth explanation. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. And yeah, final closing thoughts. All this Budokai Tenkaichi 4.